I am Erin Anderson, your 2021 West Virginia Teacher of the Year. I come to you from Upshur County, teach 5th grade at Tennerton Elementary School, where I grew up and went to school. I'm actually teaching in my 5th grade classroom. Teaching is not just my job, it's just who I am. Teaching is where I find my identity. It's where I feel like I am the most me when I'm in front of a group of kids. Teaching a lesson or chatting with a group of students at lunchtime. It's just where I feel the most comfortable. I would say that teaching during the pandemic has made me a stronger teacher. It's also made me a stronger coworker. This is a time where teachers really need to rely on each other and learn from each other. So I would say probably the hardest thing has been the students that we don't see or hear from, and just making sure that they're okay. Most of my students are logging into meetings, and I'm seeing them in person. But you have those few that you just can't touch base with. So I would say that's probably the most that is the hardest part. Sometimes a simple phone call is all it takes to check in with that family. Sometimes we're jumping in a car to deliver food boxes to them, and maybe delivering a packet of work, just checking in, laying eyes on those students. In-person instruction is so important because you need to see their reactions. You need to see those aha moments. You need to see the light bulb. You need to see when they're they're furrowing their brow because they're confused about something. Students need to hear other students' voices. Not every one of my students had access to the resources needed to work remotely. And so when students are in school, they thrive on schedule and routine and having that one caring adult that is holding them accountable for work completion. They're also having interactions with other students, which greatly helps their social-emotional health. They also have access to all the resources in the school building, from everything from guidance counselors, warm meals, and again, that caring adult. So preparing 5th graders for middle school, I think it all comes back to connections again, because I've made those connections. They trust me when I say, we've got to get you ready for middle school, so these are the steps that we're going to take. Building relationships is the key to any type of learning that we're going to be faced with. There are ways, obviously we know ways to do that in person. Takes a little bit more planning and a little bit more effort, a little more time on your part to do that virtually, but it's well worth it, because when they're back with you and they trust you, you're going to be able to get more out of them academically. Our students are becoming resilient. Actually, I think in all of this, the students really are our heroes. They are the ones that have adapted better than the adults around them. There's always, at the beginning of a school year, there's always a break-in time with students. They always have a new teacher, a new classroom, a new set of students to get to know. And so this, for many of them, this school year was just another school year to get used to it. The families that I work with are so appreciative of the teachers in the community who are reaching out and communicating with them and with their students. Nothing replaces a teacher. Nothing replaces a teacher in a student's life. The teacher is the number one factor in the classroom that leads to student success. And so whether I'm teaching on a screen or I'm teaching in person, I am the most important the most important person to my students at that moment. When our students walk into our rooms, and when they walk into our buildings and when they walk into our rooms, and they smile and they can't wait to tell you about their evening or their weekend or their summer even, you realize the impact that you have, that a teacher has on that child's life. Opening the doors to a school opens the world for the kids. Having them walk in the front doors of our school and into our classrooms is what the students need. They need to be back in their classrooms. They need to be in their seats, learning from their teacher. As Teacher of the Year, I hope to celebrate teachers and all the hard work that teachers are doing across the state. We are not failing, we're adapting, but we can't use that as an excuse to not do the best for our students. We still have to do the hard work that it takes to reach them, whatever it takes. But we can do it because we can do hard things. And when we look back, when we get to June and we look back, we can say, look how far we've come. Look what we did.